What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to GP Entertainment. It's your boy Anthony here. I am here today to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. So I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I grew up reading the books. I grew up obviously watching the movies. This game was right up my alley. To be honest, it was fantastic. I mean, it scratched every itch for the Harry Potter fans. You get to live your life in Hogwarts. You get to walk around the school, walk around the grounds, explore everything, explore all the little nooks and crannies that you've always seen in the movies, which was, really awesome to do, really nostalgic. You get a really cool feeling the first time you walk into the hallways of Hogwarts and you see the school and you get to walk to different classes, and everything was well done. I mean, the game itself graphically is phenomenal. It originally came out for all the newer systems, then they revamped it a little bit, and now I do believe it's out for the PS4 and the Xbox One. Switch is actually getting a version as well, which is going to be pretty cool. Overall, I love the game. I completed the entire game, so I 100%ed everything. It took about 50 hours for me to kind of do all that, but it was definitely worth it. Up until the very end, the game is so packed with things to do. I always felt like I had a goal. I always felt like I had something to achieve. I loved how much they were able to pack into this game. Like, not only do you live the narrative with your character, who is a fifth year, who just came into Hogwarts, which is a little bit confusing. They don't really explain where your character comes from or what his background is. You just know that you're really special. You're tied into this ancient magic, which lets you see things that other wizards and witches can't see, and that kind of leads you on and pushes you through the narrative and the story. I do wish we would have got a little bit more background of your character, but maybe the game developers felt like leaving it as ambiguous as possible would really let you kind of find yourself in those shoes and feel like you're playing as that character, which, was pretty cool, and I totally understood. Things I loved about the game: I thought the story was great. I love the extra characters, the little side characters that you get to meet. Sebastian Sallow, the little black girl, Onana, I think was her last name. They were really cool, really fleshed out, really well acted. Their storylines were really, really fun. I think Sebastian had probably the coolest storyline with really the best payoff at the end. And he also teaches you all the unforgivable curses, which really makes you super powerful if you do decide to go that path and use those. A couple things I didn't really like about the game: I really wish there was a little bit more of a morality kind of play into the game. Like I said, you can learn those unforgivable curses, but there's really no repercussions to using them. You don't go down a different path. Even like the dialogue between characters doesn't really change, even if they've seen you use these unforgivable curses, which you'd think if there was a little bit more of a morality play in the game, they would kind of be mad at you if they saw you use Avada Kedavra, but you really don't get any of that, which I feel like they missed a little bit. Also, once you kind of get through everything, there's not much to do by the end of the story, which kind of makes the replay value a little kind of tougher to grasp. I think the replay value is just restarting the entire game and going and playing through the different houses. So every house does have one unique mission tied to whatever house you pick. And I also wish they would have fleshed that out a little bit more. I wish there really would have been a bigger difference, if you're a Hufflepuff compared to a Ravenclaw, compared to a Slytherin or a Gryffindor. But it's really just your common room, which you honestly aren't really in very often. You come back every once in a while to complete quests or talk to certain characters, but overall there's no sleep cycle. There is a day-night cycle, but it doesn't really weigh too much. It's almost kind of just there as a mechanic for you to be able to find certain collectibles during the night that you can't find during the day. And that's really kind of how the whole day-night mechanic works. I also wish they had a little bit more of kind of the bully system of going to class. So Rockstar came out with this game a while ago at this point called Bully, where you play through a kid going to school, very similar to kind of what Hogwarts Legacy is. And there's a little bit more of a day-night cycle. You have to go to class there's a little bit more repercussions for you, like staying out all night and those kind of, I kind of wish that would have played into Hogwarts a little bit more. I kind of wish the classes were more than just like a quest that would pop up that you could kind of take care of whenever you wanted to. A couple little small technical things, like the voice of your character can kind of sound funny sometimes. It has a little like tinniness, like he's talking through a can or something at some points in the dialogue, which who knows, they might patch it at some point, but it's just little things like that that take you out of the immersion sometimes. But overall, I mean, the game was phenomenal. From beginning to end, I had a great time. 100%ing it was a joy. I mean, sometimes when you try to 100% games, it gets to be really grueling to try to get some of the collectibles, and it gets to be pretty tough, but everything seemed really accessible. The system of finding things in the world was really fun at first. You do a spell called Revelio, and then it shows all the treasure chests and all the little secrets that are near you at that point. But towards the end of the game, you've cast that spell 10,000 times and he says Revelio every single time. So it starts to get a little bit old and a little bit repetitive. Overall, I'm looking forward to my next playthrough. I definitely want to do a character where I kind of go more of the good route. I think I went Slytherin this first go around, which I thought was great. I mean, the common room was really the thing that drew me into the house. Also, green's my favorite color. So everything pointed towards Slytherin. And I definitely wanted to use those unforgivable spells, so it felt a little bit more natural doing it as a Slytherin versus, you know, Gryffindor or something. You know, I think we're gonna score the games as we do these reviews. I think for this game, Hogwarts Legacy, we're gonna give it an 8.7. Great game. Not perfect, there's a lot of room for improvement. I think everybody really wants Quidditch. I would imagine that they're probably gonna add that in with a DLC in the next few months. I mean, they'll be missing a big opportunity if they don't. The Quidditch pitch is there in the game. It's ready to go. Let us compete, we're ready to do it. Once again, this is Anthony. This has been GP Entertainment. Thanks a lot, guys. See you on the next one.